Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. I hope you guys are doing great. And I'm going to wait for people to join in so that we can get started. I have some great news. So when you get in, please say hello and let me know you're here. All right. Okay, guys. My name is Ifeoma Odunlami. I'm an immigration attorney from the Odunlami law firm in New Jersey. My firm serves clients in all 50 states. So it doesn't matter where you are, we're here to assist you. And the reason for that is because immigration is federal law. So thank you for joining. Say hello. Hi, Chichi8934. Hello, Matthew from Texas. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for joining me. I have some really great immigration news for you guys. It's a success story. And I want to share it because I know a lot of you out there are waiting on your cases to be heard. Hi, Dee. And you're anxious. And I want to assure you that this immigration journey will come to an end someday. And I pray for you guys that it's successful and it's a happy one. But this client of ours, when he came to us many, many years ago, I think about maybe 3 years ago, he was in deportation proceedings. Hi, Torty. Nice to see you. He was in deportation proceedings. And deportation proceedings means that USCIS was ready to get him deported. And so I asked him what his story was. And basically, he came here on a fiancé visa, which you guys must be familiar with if you're watching the 90-Day Fiancé. So he came here on a fiancé visa, and his fiancée refused to get married within 90 days, which you have to. That's part of the requirement. And a year later, they get married. She doesn't file the adjustment of status. For some reason, USCIS is aware of this, and they basically come and pick him up, put him in detention center. And I'm not sure how they knew this, but they knew. Picked him up, put him in detention center, which is also a jail, but it's for immigration people who have violated some immigration rule. But it's as bad as a jail because it's a horrible place. At least the one here in New Jersey, Elizabeth Detention Center, it is not a fun place at all. Not even for us that go to visit. It's really horrible. And anyway, they released him. I think they got married, but the relationship was turned sour. And basically, the problem was when you come here on a K1 visa, which is a fiancé visa, the only way you can adjust your status and stay in the United States is through marriage to your U.S. citizen petitioner. And so your U.S. citizen spouse has to petition for you. So if that relationship doesn't work out, you're expected to leave the country. If you don't fulfill the requirements of getting married within 90 days, you're in violation. If you're not able to adjust your status, if your petitioner doesn't file for you to get your green card, you cannot get your green card through marriage to anybody else. I think I've talked about this before. So he really was in a really hard, he was in a hard place, He came all the way to the United States because of love for this woman. He got here and she treated him really badly. And so we were able to file a VAWA petition for him, Violence Against Women's Act. And we also, first of all, we got him out of deportation proceedings, right, by something called prosecutorial discretion. And that was approved. And then we're able to file an adjustment of status for him along with the VAWA. And now his VAWA has been approved and we're going to just be waiting for the green card, all things being equal, okay? So now this case took a little while, I think at least 3 years, but the thing about VAWA, it's taken 2.5 to 3.5 years. So you just have to be, patience is important. But the important thing to know is this. Sometimes you're in a situation where your immigration pathway is not clear. and you want to talk to somebody who is knowledgeable, because a lot of people go and meet notarios, or they meet their cousins, brothers, sister who helped somebody that they know, and then they get themselves in worse trouble. So it's important to prioritize your immigration status and get information so that you also can find your pathway, get your green card, become a US citizen, and not have to worry about being deported, not have to worry about you know, being separated from your family members and your friends here. Okay. So I'm going to do a bit of question and answer today. That's what I want to do today. But I want to talk about another visa type that a lot of people don't hear about. Real quick, I want to talk about trafficking, T visa. The T visa is for trafficking. A lot of people don't know they're being trafficked. My office does a lot of trafficking cases, and this is how it really plays out. Somebody comes to my office and they come with a different problem. We screen them for different case types. Sometimes they don't qualify for any other case type, or maybe they qualify for one, but it's going to take for a long time. And then we begin to screen them for other case types. And that's how we get to a T visa. And then the more we ask them questions about their experience, the more we realize that this is what is going to work for them. So the T visa really stands for trafficking. Trafficking can be labor trafficking, or it can be commercial sex trafficking. And now the T visa is a legal analysis. It's not, there's no, you don't determine whether you've been trafficked just because you say somebody hired you, promised to pay you X amount of money, didn't pay you, therefore you're trafficked. That's not how it works. There's a legal analysis that has to be made, right? And when we talk about T visas, we give you certain scenarios that should encourage you to talk to a lawyer so that they can do that legal analysis to determine whether it's actually a trafficking case or a violation of Department of Labor. Because a lot of times it's a mistreatment by an employer could be just that they violated Department of Labor laws. It might not be trafficking, but you owe it to yourself to find out if it's indeed trafficking, because if it is trafficking, the T visa is a Hail Mary. And I'll tell you why. Number one, you don't need a US citizen or green card relative to help you get your status. It's a self-petition. Number two, it doesn't matter that you enter the country legally. It doesn't matter that you came through the border. It doesn't matter that your visa has expired. And the T visa and the U visa are one of the few visas that really will waive many inadmissibilities, many. All right. So a lot of times you want to file a petition for maybe VAWA, but you have a 204C, which is you have a sham marriage somewhere, a sham marriage determination somewhere. It's not going to help, right? But a T visa, a U visa, those types of visas, right, allow you to make a case for why you should be given that relief, right? So another thing about a T visa is if you have a deportation order, you will still be able to get yourself in status because it's rescinded by operation of law, right? You can get your green card and you don't have to leave the United States, right? That's a huge plus. Your qualifying relatives, right? Your sibling, your maybe a parent, depending on your age, a spouse, children can get a T visa. And all of you in one fell swoop can all get green cards. So I want to talk about real quick about this consultation I had recently. And I was really pained by the fact that this client, had they filed on time, if their child who had suffered the harm had filed on time, that child would have been able to get a green card for their family members, for their parents, for their siblings, for themselves. And so that's why it's important to know, the requirements of each case type. And how do you know that? You talk to a lawyer, right? Because immigration law is more than filling out forms, right? So let's talk about a couple of ways that you might know if you are being trafficked. Because the thing about trafficking is it's a legal definition. Like they talk about a severe form of trafficking. People think severe means the severity of the trafficking. No, severe form of trafficking basically means is it labor trafficking, is this commercial sex trafficking. So let's talk about some situations where you can find trafficking. Typically, it's in certain industries like nannies being brought over here. Maybe somebody might tell them that they're here to they're going to help put them in school, but they actually bring them here to take care of their children, to take care of a sick parent, or basically to do household chores, right? Or you come through the border. You might actually have paid a coyote to bring you over, which is a smuggling, but then the smuggling turns into a trafficking situation because of the way the traffickers maltreat you, right? Or it could be construction where they're making you do certain types of work. They take you there. You have no way of getting back. You have to be there all day. There are no breaks, and they give you equipment that are not, proper for the job you're doing. And if you complain, you're being threatened. That could be it too. Or it could be the restaurant business. There's a lot of trafficking going on in the restaurant business. So I think the question to ask yourself is, if you're working for an employer, are they treating you in an unfair manner? Is there something about the way the employer treats you that makes you afraid to leave the job, that makes you feel like you have to continue working? Trafficking can also be found in domestic situations, right? You're in love with somebody and the person brings you over and then, puts you in a trafficking situation where you're doing work, cooking, cleaning, and, there's no compensation. You're afraid of them for one reason or the other, right? Or it could be, it could be a relationship. And the good thing about domestic trafficking is that the trafficker does not have to be a U.S. citizen, right? So for a lot of people, getting a T visa is the answer for them. So the good thing about the T visa is when you apply for it, you can get a work permit, and you get a work permit. You're waiting to you have the work permit which you can use until your case is decided. Once you're on the T visa, you're eligible to apply for a green card within 1 year or 3 years, depending. If 1 year, if an argument can be made, for an earlier date, or 3 years, right? And then after that, 5 years, you qualify to file for as a U.S. citizen. So if you have been in an employment situation where there's been some form of abuse, right? Or even a domestic situation where you have been treated, you've been forced to do certain labor, right? By either maybe a family member. I had a case where a family member brought a 15-year-old from their country, on the pretext of taking them to school, but they only brought them here so that they could take care of a family member. Or you come to work for somebody as a nanny, they take your passport, and you're afraid. You continue working. It doesn't matter, you have no say on the hours you work, or the amount of money that they're paying you, and they have they have your passport. You cannot leave. So those could be trafficking. But as I tell you, trafficking is a legal analysis. So if you think you might have been a victim of trafficking, call our office 973-993-1900. Or if you think that you have no other pathway to getting your papers, and you've been here in the United States, why don't you call the office? Call our office. Let's see if there's a pathway for you. 973-993-1900. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to take questions because I need to go early today. So Torti Okorie says, I applied for VAWA since March 2022. When do you think I can get a decision for my case? And again, is it safe to travel with my advanced parole, which is still valid until 2029? So Torti, that's a really good question, and I'm glad you asked this question. So with regards to how long it's going to take for your VAWA, go to the to the website and see how long it's taken. On an average, it's taken 2.5 to 3.5 years. That's 80% according to USCIS. Some cases take less time, some cases take more time. If your cases take, it's March 2022, March 2024. So I'm thinking right around now there might be a response for your case. But the case we just got an approval for, I think we filed it in 2021. So that took about 3 years. So I would say if you don't hear anything around March of 2025, maybe, send an inquiry to them, and with regards to advanced parole, whether it's safe to travel. Well, the advanced parole document or travel permits is a document that allows you to leave the United States. But this is my concern. There's no guarantee that CBP will let you back in. And that is based on a finding that you have some inadmissibilities. So I tell my clients this, they go, they come back. We have never had a client who went and didn't come back. But you have to know that an advanced parole is not an automatic guarantee of entry. If you've committed any crimes outside the United States or even here, or there's a secondary inspection, which something in there makes you inadmissible, you might not be allowed to come back in. But if you've been law abiding and you know that you haven't done anything that could be a problem, you could, but you always know that it's a risk. Many people take that risk and it's not a problem, but like I said, it's something you should consider, all right? That it's not an automatic re-entry. CBP officers have to, find that, you're admissible to come back into the United States. So Coda says, hello, my sister applied for the I-130 for her parents, and my sister wants to apply for food stamp. Is that gonna be bad or delay for her parents' I-130 application? So if your sister applied for your parents, this is the public charge rule does not apply to people who are US citizens or green card holders. It's not. That's the public charge applies to people who are seeking to become green card holders, right? So if your sister's applying for food stamps, that's not going to be held against your parents' application. But the issue would be whether your sister is making enough money to sign the affidavit of support. And if she's not, then she's going to need a joint sponsor. Because if she's collecting food stamps, I'm suspecting she has no income. So that's really something you want to, look into. So Emeka says, hello, lawyer, can I get an EAD on pending VAWA case if I'm on removal proceedings or order of removal due to asylum refuse? So Emeka, if you have been ordered removed, you cannot get a work permit based on a pending VAWA. And the reason is because for you to get a work permit, you have to file an adjustment of status. The adjustment of status is where you get your work permit. That's where you get your travel permit. So if you have been ordered removed, you do not qualify to file for adjustment of status. So you will not be able to do that on a pending VAWA. So Shalene from Philippines says, hello. Well, hello. Angela says, I'm a British citizen. How do I come to work in the US? So Angela, that's a loaded question because there are many ways to come to work in the United States. I think the best thing for you to do is to book a consultation, 973-993-1900, and let's, scrutinize your case and see if there are pathways for you. All right, so I looked at, let me see if I can get a couple of questions from TikTok. Hey, TikTok fam. All right. Let's see if I can get a couple questions from TikTok. Oh gosh, I think I just passed through a lot of questions. So Wonder King says he sent me a lot of message, but I have not replied. Wonder King called my office, 973-993-1900. You know I don't personally review the messages, so you will reach out to somebody from my office, and if you want a consultation, they will schedule you for a consultation. So Krypton says, can you extend your visitor's visa after 6 months? Krypton, yes, you can. Excuse me. Yes, you can. You would have to file an extension using the form. I-539 and explain why you want to extend your visa. All right. So Buffy Bug says, I got denied my court case and I took appeal. Then I sent my case to BIA. What do you think? I have no thoughts. I don't know anything about your case, Buffy Bug. All right. Joe Odiawa says, hello, do you help people get a visitor's visa? No, I don't. Wonder King says, scammers are using my pictures. You know, the scammers are everywhere, you know, using my pictures, claiming to be me, which is the reason why we tell you that the only way that you can be sure to reach us is if you want to schedule a consultation, it's call my office, 973-993-1900, or go to my website, www.odunlamilaw.com. Be very wary about people who are online asking you for money. That's not us. We never ask for people for money online, okay? You have a consultation and then we discuss your case. All right, we do not have consultations via email, text messages. You see us either through Zoom or you call our office and we talk to you on the phone, or you come to the office. All right. So Bola says, how can I bring my wife and 5 step-kids from overseas as SJIS green card holders to the US? I'm not really understanding this question. Bola, are you the one with SJIS? Because if you have SJIS, you have to be unmarried. You know that, right? Until your green card is approved. All right. So Zizi says, can I apply for an EB2 while on a pending asylum application? So Zizi, this is a thing with applying for an employment immigration while you're on a pending asylum application. Asylum is not a legal status. And so depending on whether you've acquired unlawful presence, if you've acquired unlawful presence at any point, you would not be able to apply for EB2. However, if you applied for, if you came here, say on a B1, B2, and you were here for 6 months, you applied for the asylum before the 6 months, so you have no unlawful presence, then if you apply for an EB2, you would have to leave the country and consular process. And seeing that you filed a pending asylum, remember, you won't be able to go to your country to do that. So I think it's best for you to talk to a lawyer so that we can really explain the situation for you and understand your situation, because this is not a consultation. I'm not giving you legal advice because I don't know your case. All right, let's go to Instagram and answer a few questions from Instagram. All right. Hi, Instagram. How are you guys? So Nana K of Mickey says, spousal visa and fiancé visa, which one would you advise me to go for? Nana, I think I've talked about this actually in several Facebook Lives. So just scroll through. I'm going to answer this real quickly, but it really depends on your situation. And these are choices I give my clients. If you have children and you would like them to come in with you from the same petition, it's best for you to file for your U.S. citizen partner to file a fiancé visa, because the fiancé visa will bring you and your children are under the age of 21 with the same application. A U.S. Citizen spouse, you would have to file for they would have to file for you and file for all your children. So if you don't have kids, then maybe a spousal visa might not be a bad thing. However, some people look at the timeline. The fiancé visa takes less time, not that much less though, but it takes less time. The spousal visa takes a longer time, depending on what country you're from. Another thing is with the fiancé visa, when you come in, you have to get married here within 90 days. Then you have to apply for the adjustment of status. So you wouldn't be able to work for a while. You wouldn't be able to leave the country for a while. Now, with the spousal visa, if you got married and your spouse filed for you, you come into the United States with an approved green card petition, which you get your green card here. You can work from day one. you can leave that, you can get your green card, turn around, and go back if you have to go somewhere. So for a lot of people, they don't like the idea of coming to the United States on a fiancé visa because they have to stay here, they have to apply for adjustment of status, they have to wait to get a work permit, which can take anywhere from 3 months to 10 months. So they're here without the ability to work for a long time. For some people, it doesn't matter. So really, Nana, there's a lot of there's a lot of considerations. So if you want to talk to us, give us a call, 973-993-1900, and let us analyze the best situation for you. Okay. All right, let's see. Looking for more questions. All right, I'm on Instagram. So Business of Being says, can you please speak on the main thing to look out for when I apply for a 10-year ban to re-enter the US? I don't understand that question. Business of Being. All right, so let me go to the next question. All right. All right. I'm looking for another question. Eco says, my parents filed an I-130 visa for me, and we have gone through all the process, which I filed the DS-260 form, but we're waiting for the interview date since March this year. So Eco, I would ask you, has your submission, your DS-260 submission, been documentarily qualified? If it has, then you're really just waiting for the interview date. And unfortunately, that takes a while. I've known the wait for interview dates take a whole year, depending on what country and what embassy, you are going to be doing the interview. Unfortunately, yeah, it's taking a long time, but, just hang in there, okay? It will be your turn sooner or later. All right. So Meslin Watson says, how can I file for my son who has been here since 1989? So Meslin, I can't answer that question without knowing more information about your son, his situation, your situation. So this is a case that I would recommend you really should talk to an attorney and let's see, because sometimes pathways to a green card may be missed because of certain deadlines, so you do want to reach out. Let's chat with you, okay? All right. So Nana Tom 4 says, can you speak about change of address during adjustment of status? The law says that if you change your address, I think it's within 10 days, you must notify USCIS. So you fill out the AR-11. You can do it online. Give them your new address. It's important that you do this because if they send you information and you don't get it because you no longer live there, that's not an excuse. Now, if they send you any kind of information and you already did a change of address and they sent it still to the wrong place, then that's on USCIS. So you want to change your address so that you make sure you're getting correspondence from them, because some of this correspondence have time restrictions and some of them are really important information that you need to have. So make sure you're changing your address. It's the law. All right. So Henry says, I have a pending VAWA case since 2018, but I have received no information on it. I'm not able to renew my EAD. However, I am able to renew my EAD. However, USCIS has not responded to any request for update. 2018. That's a while. That's a while. If you want us to do an inquiry for you, give us a call, 973-993-1900. I mean, VAWA takes a while, but that's a while. That's a long time. Yeah, you should check on that. And USCIS may not respond to you, so you pretty much want to reach out to an attorney to see if they can do something with regards to that. So Torinowski says, hello, I filed for my wife, but we don't live together due to work. So Torinowski, this is the thing, right? If you have a legitimate marriage, it's a bona fide net marriage. You don't live together, yes, that's a red flag. However, if you have other compelling evidence of the fact that it's a bona fide marriage, then, you know, present it and stand strong, okay? Whiting said, do you think Trump will cancel out SIJ cases? I have no idea what Trump is going to do. But we hope that Trump does not become president, so we never have to worry about what he's going to do. World Best of Niger says, they say I can't have a chat with you, but another lawyer in your practice. However, I want to have a word with you. World Best, there are several lawyers at my firm. We're all excellent lawyers. If you want to reach out to any one of us, can assist you. But if you want to speak to me particularly, then you just need to book, and it may take a longer time. That's fine. The other attorneys in my firm, sometimes they work on case types that I don't work on. So depending on what type of case you have, anybody who's directing you to the attorney is directing you to the best person that you should be speaking to. So if you trust my judgment, you should trust that the people who are working here in my firm are here to assist you, and they're very knowledgeable, they're very experienced. All right. Shells, I didn't get the first question, but you say the reason I'm asking is because the person is married for over 10 years and would like to file for adjustment of status. I didn't get the first question, so I don't know what the second question is for. Chidi says, my dad is a U.S. citizen, filed for me in 2022, but still no response till now. The portal says my case is taking longer than expected. What do you advise we do? Well, you can do an e-inquiry. Your father should call his, congressman, see if they can have a congressional assistance. And, I don't know the details of your case. It's kind of a little hard for me to give you more directed advice on what to do. All right, guys, I'm going to pick up a couple more questions on here on YouTube. So Coda says, we tried to expedite my mom's I-130 because she's very sick. I'm sorry to hear that, Coda, but USCIS did not accept the expedite request. Okay, can she apply for B1, B2 so that she'll be in USA quickly? Well, Coda, you can try, but the thing is, because you have a pending application for your mom, she now has immigrant intent, and so a B1, B2 is a non-immigrant visa. So typically, USCIS does not give B1, B2 to people who have immigrant intent typically. But if you want to try, there's no harm in trying, okay? But I wouldn't. I want you to, I want to control your expectations, because typically that's not a success that I see often, okay? Mario says, can I come to America after deportation? Your New York friend is back to America. Well, Mario, it depends on the reason you were deported, all right? And it depends on what pathway you have to get you back in here. So two things. Why were you deported? What is the pathway for you to get back here? Because you have to have a pathway to get back here, okay? All right, so I'm going to leave for now because it's 6:14, but I thank you guys for joining me for this live, and hopefully I'll try to make another live maybe this week, maybe next week. But if you need assistance with your immigration matters, we're here at the Odunlami Law Firm to assist you. The way to reach us is 973-993-1900. Please be aware of scammers. Don't pay anybody money on the internet, online. Call our office and schedule your consultation, or go to our website, www.odunlamilaw.com. All right, have a great evening, everyone. Take care.